Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of The Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you. But first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I always love having you guys here in The Jets Ward. You make this channel so much fun, no matter what. I always love having you guys here. And for those that are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan or a fan of another team or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here. This is a safe space for you. Now, guys, excitement happening. Training camp is right around the corner. Players are getting ready. Practices are going to be starting up again. We're going to get to see what our new coach, Aaron Glenn, and what other coaches are all about in the training camps to come up. Big things, too. Which players are going to get new extensions? Which players are still holding out? It's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going on. NFL season's picking back up. It's going to be so much fun. But before that, I am going to talk about shocking trade options, one shocking trade option from every NFC team. Now, these are ones that I think could happen, but would be a shock. I think some of them are more likely than the others, but I also think there are some on here that I put that I would be very shocked if these teams parted ways with them. I already did a video on the AFC. Make sure you check that one out and comment down below when you see that one and subscribe to the channel and watch this one as well. I love doing these. It's all my opinions and everything about what teams should do or what players, my opinions about the players and stuff like that. So if you have your own opinions, I would love to hear them as well. Please comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out as well. But getting into it, the first team that I'm going to start up with is the Green Bay Packers. And one shocking trade option that I would have for them is Christian Watson. I think he has so much talent. And the problem with him has been injuries in his career. But he's still a young player. He's got the size of a top wide receiver, has great speed as well and solid hands. It's durability. I think Green Bay loves Christian Watson, but they also just drafted Matthew Golden and Savion Williams. So they're loading up that receiving core, and they have Reed, they have Romeo Doubs, they have Wicks, they have all of these players, and they got Tucker Kraft as an option at tight end too, who can be a very solid pass catcher. Now, Christian Watson, I would be very shocked if the Green Bay Packers decided to trade him. I honestly think they'd be more likely to trade Romeo Doubs, and that's been a rumor all offseason. Now, Christian Watson, again, like I said, it's durability issues. He has all the talent in the world, and he's a great possession-type receiver, but he's also got really good speed as well. And I really like Christian Watson. But I could definitely see the Green Bay Packers, if they got the right deal for him, I see they could trade him. But continuing on, we are going to get into the next player. Staying in the division, we're going to get to the Bears. And this one I think is more likely. This is DJ Moore. Now, why would the Bears part with DJ Moore, who, to be fair, is still a top receiver in this league, in my opinion? Top 10, maybe top 15. I think he's really good veteran leadership. I think he's got solid moves. He's not the fastest guy, but he's a solid route runner, great hands. But rumblings that he's getting frustrated with Caleb Williams in Chicago is starting to rise. And the emergence of Rome Odunze, who I think is going to have a breakout year as well, could make DJ Moore expendable, in my opinion, especially since they just drafted a new receiver as well, and they have two solid tight ends in Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland. So that could make DJ Moore expendable. And don't forget that they also have DeAndre Swift, who I think is a very underrated running back in this point in his career. He's still solid, and they just beefed up that offensive line. So he could have a much better year this year. And again, it could make DJ Moore expendable, and they could still get something for him. I think DJ Moore would be more valuable on a team that has younger receivers where he could use that veteran leadership. Maybe someone like the Jets, possibly. I would be very happy if he's the number 2 option there behind Garrett Wilson. I think that would be great for Justin Fields, who had a great connection with DJ Moore. But he could be an interesting trade option for the Chicago Bears. And I think it's more likely for the Bears to trade him than the Packers to trade Christian Watson. Continuing in the division, we get to the Vikings, and this is another receiver, and Vikings fans can call me crazy, but I would not be shocked if Jordan Addison got some interest in trades. There were rumors early in the offseason, but he was also frustrated at points last year because he wasn't getting the ball. But I honestly think he is a number one receiver in the making. I really love what Jordan Addison brings to the table. Great speed, great hands, fluid route runner. And honestly, I think the Vikings could get a good amount of stuff for him. I really like Jordan Addison. And it's tough because he's always going to play second fiddle to Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings have other receivers there that are solid as well. Jordan Addison, I understand that you have J.J. McCarthy and you want to surround him with all the weapons. But if you can get more pieces to later on help J.J. McCarthy, that could be very beneficial for the Vikings as well. Now, to be fair, I doubt this is going to happen. I don't think they're going to trade Jordan Addison. I think they like him too much over there. Unless something happens that both sides need to part ways, then I could see it happening. But this would be a very big shocker for me. And there are a lot of teams who I think could definitely use Jordan Addison's services. I think he's a lower-end wide receiver one, but could become something much better. The kid's just got so much talent over there in Minnesota. I really like Jordan Addison. Now, continuing on, last team in the North, we get to the Lions. DJ Reader, defensive tackle. The Detroit Lions defensive line is just so stacked. DJ Reader is a valuable player and a good run stuffer, not going to give you much in the pass rush, but he could possibly get traded because of all the talent that they have on that defensive line. They have so much depth and so much young pieces that want to take that next step forward. Could DJ Reader be a player that they could move on from to give those younger guys a chance to step up? I honestly think they could. Now, does it happen? Like I said, these would be shockers if it did happen. But DJ Reader could be that potential trade option for the Detroit Lions if they got the right offer, in my opinion. Now, continuing on, we go over to the Falcons. And I got Tyler Algier, running back. I really think Algier is so underrated. I think he's got tons and tons of talent. Still a young running back. And Bijan is the face of that running back room. But there were points last year where Algier was doing just as much and if not having better games than Bijan. And he's great coming out of the backfield. He's a solid blocker, powerful runner. And he's young. I think he could help out a young team and be a premier running back in this league if given the opportunity. Now, he's not going to get that with the Falcons because Bijan's there and Bijan's all worldly. But Algier could be something really, really good if put in the right situation. What team could that be? Well, you could have the Bears, possibly. I like him and DeAndre Swift together. You could have him go to Seattle. I understand they got Kenneth Walker, but Kenneth Walker's always hurt. Zach Charbonnet might be a good compliment to him. You got teams like Falcons, him and James Conner, or Falcons. He is a Falcon. The Cardinals, him and James Conner could definitely be a good pairing. There's so many teams that I think could definitely utilize his services. And I really think that he could be a very interesting trading chip for the Falcons. Getting into the next one, we get to the Bucs. And I have Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is coming back from a serious leg injury last year. And it's going to be a lot for him to come back to. I don't think he's going to be the same. I think it's going to take him a little bit, but he could still be a serviceable receiver. Bucs also just drafted Emeka Egbuka, who was showing out all offseason. They also got McCollum there as well, who they look at as a young, hungry receiver too. So that could leave Chris Godwin as the odd man out because they got Mike Evans, who's still going to be their number one receiver. Godwin coming back from an injury and dealing with all of these other people there. And you got Cade Otton, who I also think is underrated there as well as a tight end. This could be an interesting trading chip for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris Godwin, wide receiver. Going on to the next one, Alvin Kamara. I honestly put Alvin Kamara here because I don't think it would be a shocker if Chris Olave got traded. I think it would be more of a shocker for Alvin Kamara because unless the Saints, and I do think they're going to be going into a rebuild, I think they want that veteran leadership on that team. Kamara's been there forever, and he's been solid. He's put up great numbers, and I understand he's getting older, but he can do so many things. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a solid runner, solid power guy, good speed still. He could get you something, but I don't know if a team's going to be willing to offer that unless they're like a running back away. But if the Saints are rebuilding, which I think they're going to, they got Tyler Shuck as their starting quarterback. If they're really struggling, which I predict they're going to, Alvin Kamara could be a big trade option for a team that's just one player away, a running back away. So look at Alvin Kamara possibly getting traded at some point, but that would be a big shocker, and I think a lot of Saints fans would be very upset with that. Continuing on, this is a player that I don't think is as much of a shocker, Xavier Legette. I've been predicting him to get traded. I understand he's a young receiver. He's got a lot of talent, had some struggles last year. The reason I think he can get traded is because of all the talent they have in that receiver room. They just drafted Ted McMillan. They've got Hunter Renfrow that they just signed. They've got all of these guys there, and they also there's just so much talent in that room that they might be losing faith in Xavier Legette. If they liked him, I don't think they would have took Ted. Honestly, if they really thought something of Xavier Legette. Honestly, Xavier Legette could be somebody who could be on the way out, especially if he has another down year. So look at him as being an interesting trade option for the Carolina Panthers. Then we get to the Cardinals. And I got Trey Benson. I understand he's a young running back, but he's playing behind James Conner, who just doesn't seem to stop. 1,000 yard years, year in, year out for James Conner. A bully of a running back. Was one of the reasons why that offense got going last year was James Conner. And Trey Benson just never has found his footing yet. And he was supposed to be a good complement to James Conner and be the future back there when Conner inevitably left. It's not seeming like it's working out. But there's a lot of talent there. Maybe it's just not the system for him. If he's put in a different system, maybe he could have that breakout year, more opportunity. A team like the Bills could be an opportunity for him behind James Cook, or a team like the Jaguars, or somebody that could use his services that I think would like him a lot more. Trey Benson could be a very, very interesting option for the trade option for the Cardinals. So continuing on, I got Tutu Atwell. The Rams wide receiver room is stacked at this point, and I just don't think Tutu Atwell is getting all the looks that he should. He's a very, very fast receiver, could help you out in the kick return game as well, in the punt return game. Solid hands. I just don't think with all those players in that room, all the talent that's there, he is going to get his touches. I think he could be a very good trade chip for the Rams. He's still a young player. And he could definitely take the top off of defense as well if you're looking for that burner type of receiver. That could be a very interesting trade option for the Rams. Continuing on, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is a big one. And this would be a really big shocker because of the talent he has. He's coming off a serious injury. Played in about 4 games last year, I believe. And it was rough. He's getting older. He's dealt with injuries. People were looking at Christian McCaffrey as being the best running back in football. Those injuries really devastating last year. And if the 49ers don't play up to the style that we think they can, or up to the talent that they have, I understand they traded Debo. They got Juwan Jennings as a number 1 receiver. They still got Brandon Ayuk. If Christian McCaffrey comes back and is a step slower, is not the same player, and the 49ers struggle with that easy schedule that they have, he could definitely be on the table for a trade option just so that they could get a rebuild in or something to help build the defense, to help build the offense in some way, bring another receiver in there. All right. So Christian McCaffrey could be an interesting option. And Shanahan makes every running back in that system look really, really good. So even when he went down last year, the 49ers offense with the running game did not really take a step back. So there's that as well. But big name player coming off a serious injury. Let's see how the 49ers do. Does he come back to be the player that he used to be? or that he was before the injury, it's debatable. It's up for debate. But I think he could be an interesting trade option for the 49ers. Getting into the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker III. Love the running back. Young player, has a lot of talent. Problem is injuries, durability. When you are hurt most of the time that you're there, that doesn't help your team, and it only hurts them. And the problem with that as well, you got Zach Charbonnet, who's shown out, who has had flashes of being a solid running back. You got Sam Darnold there now. You got a new left guard in Gray Zabel. The offensive line's still not the best. Your left side of the line is, but everything else is not. Kenneth Walker III, if he can stay healthy, he can be one of the better running backs in the league. Problem is, he can't. He hasn't shown that he can. So, and when you have a young guy like Zach Charbonnet back there as well, fighting for the starting job, it really hurts your options. And I think a team would take a chance on Kenneth Walker III to try to put him in a situation to keep him healthier, and they see all that talent, so they might be willing to give up something, maybe a third or fourth round pick. Continuing on. I get to the Giants. Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think this one's as big of a shocker. Everybody knows the talent they have on that defense. They just drafted Abdul Carter. They got Brian Burns. They got all of these pieces at the linebacker / edge rushing position, defensive edge position. Kayvon Thibodeau has just not lived up to that first-round pick. He's a solid player, but there are games where he disappears and you don't see him. There are other games where he can take over like that. The other thing is his focus there. I think with all that talent, the Giants could definitely get a lot of stuff back for Kayvon Thibodeau. And there's a lot of teams that I think could be options that think they could unlock his potential. And honestly, I don't think this one would be as big of a shocker because of all that talent the Giants have. They want to win, and they could use all the picks and things that they can get for future, for Jackson Dart when he inevitably starts for them. They help towards the future. I understand Kayvon Thibodeau's younger, but by drafting Abdul Carter and having Brian Burns, who you really like there, and Dexter Lawrence on the defensive tackle position, it's showing that you might not be as comfortable with Kayvon Thibodeau as a lot of people thought. So he could definitely be a trade option and get you something in return. The next one, Dak Prescott. And a lot of you guys might be like, this is crazy, but that's why it's shocking trades that could happen, that I think could happen. And I say Dak Prescott because the Cowboys, one of the big moves they made this offseason, trading for backup quarterback Joe Milton, who everybody says shows high potential. Cannon of an arm, runs so well, big, strong kid. In the one game he played last year, looked solid, looked like he belonged. Dak Prescott, getting older, has dealt with some injuries recently, was out a lot of the year last year because of an injury. Could the Cowboys be losing faith in Dak Prescott? And with all the things that are coming out about how much they're loving Joe Milton over there and love the talent that he's got, that could be an opportunity for a team to come in and trade for him. Saints, maybe? Imagine him getting traded to the Saints and going there and playing with Kellen Moore, an offense that he's used to, that he's played in before. That could definitely make a lot of sense. They could definitely use a veteran quarterback there. So that could be an interesting option. Go for the future. You have a new head coach. Trust Joe Milton, have him start and trade Dak. I doubt it happens, but watch. If the Cowboys don't play well in the beginning, watch a potential trade of Dak Prescott to a team like the Saints or something like that happen. I find it unlikely, but Cowboys might be in for a rebuild if things don't go right for them, especially when you're paying all of these high-end receivers and you're trying to get Micah Parsons down for a contract as well. So that's an option for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. Next one. I doubt this one happens, but rumors are coming out. Terry McLaurin is not happy, and it's looking like they're not getting any closer on a contract. And there were other rumors that came out too about Terry McLaurin that the Commanders would be willing to trade him Now, Jaden Daniels, I don't think would be happy about that. I understand you just traded for Debo, but he is not Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is one of the better receivers in football. You want to help out your young offense, your young quarterback succeed? You keep your best player who's been loyal to you for years now. Terry McLaurin needs to be re-signed by the Commanders. But if he's not, that could be a very big trade. Steelers could definitely use another receiver. Jets could definitely use another receiver of his caliber. There are so many teams that would be banging on the Commanders' door for Terry McLaurin. And honestly, with all the rumors coming out, it could be a possibility. Does it happen? I doubt it. I think once training camp comes around and they start meeting more and getting into those conversations, I think a deal gets done. But if the tensions keep boiling over, Terry McLaurin could be looking at a new team, which would be a massive trade, massive shakeup in the NFL. And continuing on, I got Jahan Dotson for the Eagles. There weren't really a lot of options, in my opinion. I almost put A.J. Brown because of tensions that took place last year. But Jahan Dotson is just beating the odd man out over there. You got Smith, you got A.J. Brown. You got Dallas Goedert, who I know they tried to trade this offseason as well. Got Saquon there as well. Jalen Hurts is a good runner with the football. Jahan Dotson is still a young receiver, and I think has a lot of talent and a lot of untapped potential. I think he could be a very, very big trade option for the Eagles. Let's see what they have in him. They didn't utilize him a lot last year, which I thought they would have as a slot receiver or having him on the outside and Smith in the inside. That could have been deadly. 3-combo receiving core like that. But watch out for Jahan Dotson to possibly be a trade option for the Eagles. I think that could be a big move for them as well. But again, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. That is all I have for you guys when it comes to shocking trade options for all NFC teams. Are there any players from these teams that you think could be shocking trade options? Let me know down in the comments. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.